For HMTV, this is EonShiKeno with some StarCraft action for you guys. Today we got a pretty good match. We're going to have two top European players battling it out on Derelict Watcher. Let's go ahead and introduce our two players. On the bottom left side of the map, we have our green Zerg player. Our green Zerg player for Team Acer, it's Nerchio! And on the other side of the map, the ever-expressive man who used to formerly have a pretty epic beard, the red Zerg player. It's going to be Liquid TLO, and he doesn't need casters. Well, too bad. I'm here, TLO. I'm sorry. That's it. It's... Well, the casters have arrived. Alright, TLO's confident. He doesn't all-in 10 pull. So we might see some macro games here out of these guys. So ZVZ on Derelict Watcher. What are we going to see this game? Yeah, I'm not... Nerchio has been feeling confident lately. TT from TLO, a little bit of sad. It's okay. He's making overlords. Oh, jeez. Seems about right. So players talking about their build orders, building overlords, and look at this. Nerchio going for a, well, that was a really early pull. What was that, like a 10 pull or something? Yeah, it was a little bit early. I think that was actually a 9 pull. So really fast circlings coming out for Nerchio. Nerchio in the middle of the map scouts out the positioning rather of this first overlord from TLO, and knowing where that's going to be, he's going to easily be able to dodge that and walk around it. Now the second overlord may be a little bit tricky. We'll see what's going to happen. Look at this. Unfortunately, TLO going for a quick hatchery, but he did go for a pull first, so it's not going to be too terrible. Will the overlord see it? Oh, he sees it. I figured he was going to be out of range there, but not too worried. Just going to run up there. And more Zerglings are coming out from Nerchio. Nerchio is putting a full pressure here on TLO. TLO quickly throws up a extractor, double extractor. It's going to allow him to make a couple more workers here. Actually, not more workers, more Zerglings. It's going to cancel those, do a quick extractor trick. Now it's going to be Zerglings versus nothing for a little while. These Zerglings will easily be able to cancel this hatchery. That's what Nerchio is going to go for here. Go for the safe play. Forces the cancel on that. He's setting up his own behind this. He's not going to go with the all-in play where he just runs in there, tries to kill a bunch of workers, and end his opponent. But TLO pulling a lot of drones here. Nothing. Nerchio should be able to finish this up here, maybe with a couple worker loss. They're actually just going to go for a straight-up fight. And let's see how this plays out. It looks like Nerchio's got enough forces, and TLO's just trying to buy enough time for this to finish. But even still, I don't know if he's going to have enough workers, or sorry, enough Zerglings to deal with this. And it's getting closer and closer down to the wire here. TLO is trying to battle for this hatchery. This is such an important structure for TLO to keep up because Nerchio is not that far behind there. And it does finish. It's up, but the Zerglings are out. More Zerglings are coming here from TLO. The reinforcements have arrived. The Queen is there. She doesn't have enough energy to do anything, but it seems there's going to be enough forces here. And he's going to lose maybe a worker or two, but man, look at that amazing hold there by TLO. Nice micro control there with the drones, the Zerglings, keeping Nerchio at bay. You know, Nerchio didn't want to just sacrifice all those Zerglings on killing that hatchery. He wanted to try and do a little bit of damage, but didn't want to sacrifice those Zerglings for it. So his hatchery is just a little bit behind, but keep in mind, see how many workers he's got here. He's probably got a couple, 2 kills so far, and now he's kind of just running around the main up here, being generally annoying. Worker count for both players. TLO with a nice lead, 21-16. Of course, TLO had that nice economic opening compared to Nerchio. He went for that later pool and earlier hatchery, so his macro is going to be a little bit ahead of his opponent. And also, we saw that speed the extractor for TLO popping up very soon. As soon as he saw that, so he was planning on defending his hatchery and then being able to get speed, and then he's following up here with the Baleen Nest. So we're going to have TLO turning on the pressure here, feeling that, you know what, I got the worker lead, let's go try and turn the pressure on my opponent, Nerchio. We'll see what we can do here. So still getting some gas. He's going to need a little bit more gas to get a couple more Banelings out here. He does have map control. He's got the Zerglings all around the place. Nerchio quickly spreading out his overlords. He wants to keep an eye on everything. He has an eye over here on the possible third base of TLO. He's got a pretty much a vision of everything outside the direct vicinity of his natural expansion. A couple queens coming from Nerchio, throwing up a spine crawler. And actually TLO throwing up a spine crawler, so I was kind of expecting him to just turn around and go for a big attack there, but it looks like no, TLO was just playing it safe. He getting that Baleen Nest in case second wave of attack was coming. But of course, anytime you get extra tech like that, it kind of does open up your options. how you want to play. If you want to play aggressive, you want to play defensive. Now speed is done. He can run on there and do a little bit of damage. Maybe he's going to get a queen kill or just snipe some workers. One goes down so far and quickly going to pull back out. He does get a nice scout out there. Sees the timing on both of those gas chambers, so those extractors. And he can kind of just run around. He's got, you know, he's essentially untouchable now with speed. Whenever you have speed and your opponent doesn't have speed, it's, yeah, you can, as long as you just got the micro control and you can keep those Zerglings alive, unlike that little mistake there from TLO, you can just do this and they can never catch you. You know, occasionally you'll have a queen come out there and poke you down a little bit, but more often than not, you keep those Zerglings alive for a very long time. Third base up here for TLO in a nice position. Definitely better than taking this position up here in the top. That's a possible fourth base later on in the game. And hatchery going here at the natural. Wanting to get some extra life on that building. Because that building is very low. You know, would surprise me to see, we could have seen Nerchio maybe just going for a bunch of roaches and coming here with like 10 roaches and just try to snipe that. Because this hatch was like, I think sub 200 health. That was extremely low. So he's going to go ahead and use the upgrade here to layer to give it a little bit more life. Starting on a wall off here in the front with Roach Warren and starting those plus range 1 attack upgrades. So we're going to have roaches for TLO. Nerchio getting his third up a little bit later. We can see TLO's hatch is close to being finished. No tech yet, just for Nerchio just yet. Of course, he had those gases pop up just a little while ago. And unfortunately, he only has 2 workers on this one and 3 on this one. I think that's an oversight on his part. We'll see if he notices that later on or not. Third hatch is finally done here for TLO. He can start transferring drones over there if it feels like it. A lot of roaches coming out now. Actually going back to the droning phase. Just kind of slowly building up his roach count here. So the layer's done. That's going to bump him up a little bit of HP there. Queen's there. Still, this thing is kind of low. I would keep an eye out for that. As really big Zergling run by, such as this, or this many Banelings could be really fatal to TLO. And TLO sees a couple of Zerglings. Now he sees it. He sees it. And there's no speed. Wait, is there speed? I don't think there's speed. Okay, yeah, there's speed. There's a little wings for a second there. It wasn't finished. But look at this. Oh my God, those Banelings really need to connect those roaches out in the middle of nowhere. Those guys will get picked off so easily. They're working his bait, trying to get those Banelings to connect on those Zerglings, but he can easily just fall back there using those Banelings as kind of a threat that's going to force him. Oh no! TLO with a huge bust there, taking out more than half of Nerchio's Banelings, and the Banelings are just going to go straight for the drones in the back, for there's so many Zerglings still left alive there. Even with that great connect there from TLO, I don't know if it's going to be enough. This hatch, or sorry, this layer is going to drop really quickly as soon as these roaches start dying off. The workers are really low here. Not that many workers left. He killed, what is that, 17 workers here. Total roaches getting caught on the ramp there. They weren't in a really good position to do the wall off there. A couple more roaches popping out in time. But, oh my God, this hatchery is so low, 161. I think he just needs a right click on that, but he's just streaming units across the map. More roaches and more Zerglings coming out for both players. And the roaches continuing to die, streaming out here a little bit, and the roaches just aren't getting a really good position. With this small number of roaches, Zerglings are just far superior in this situation. Even though he's got the +1 attack upgrade with those roaches, it really doesn't help that too much versus those Zerglings, and he's just easily picking off these roaches as they come stumbling out of this layer. And this is looking like it's GG for TLO. There's just so many forces here for Nerchio in his base. He does have the supply lead. Army supply 40 versus, or sorry, 26 versus 33. And we see, you know, Nerchio prioritizing taking out these roaches instead of going for the layer, even though this thing's been very low. But look at this, so many reinforcements across the map. This is looking like a surefire victory for Nerchio. TLO trying with all his might. Look at that, surrounding his queen with the drones. For the queen! Fortunately gets taken out there. One Zergling manages to sneak in there. Zerglings versus roaches. This is an all-on fight here. Drones just still chilling out in that kind of circle. You can see the one little hole they had there was not enough. And now roaches forced to retreat back to the corner. Zerglings still streaming out across the map. 20 coming along the way. 1-1 upgrades coming out of the way for Nerchio. He hasn't even put any drones at all in that third. That's just been straight up production for Zerglings. Drones going back to work here for TLO. Zerglings being sent to the natural, and that natural finally is going to go down after the second time. And now with this many Zerglings and more Zerglings just continuing to stream across the map, TLO is trying as much as he can to defend that third base because he doesn't have his natural anymore, and he really needs to keep that third base up if he has any chance of getting back in this game. But with this many Zerglings, you know, I mean, look, this TLO's doing a pretty good job here. He's microing back. He's going to get on that ramp. He actually didn't get the good position there he was wanting for. Just too many Zerglings pushing his way. But he really just can't sit up there. He has to defend against this constant Zergling pressure. He's got to deal with protect the Roach Warren, protect the upgrades, and save all the workers he's got down here at this base. Nice position here for this Roach back here between these mineral patches. So he's being as cost-effective as possible, keeping those roaches the roaches with the backsides to the walls there, reducing the surface area for those Zerglings, but unfortunately there's just so many Zerglings. This fight is just continuing to go on. I'm surprised TLO has just been alive for the past, it seems like 7 minutes, just making roaches, trying to fight off this Zergling war. And the roach count is just not high enough. The Zergling count is way too high, and Nerchio is just going on in here, cleaning it up. TLO does not want to give up. This is game 1 of the series, but there's the GG. And Nerchio is going to take his victory in this game, number 1 of the series. That was a really cool game. You know, for a second I thought at the very beginning with that huge Baling bust that TLO had, he used 2 Balings and took out like 8 from Nerchio. I thought that was going to be enough there. But the early game pressure, he transitioned that into a full-blown on huge second attack. TLO was not ready for it. He did have his wall up there at the front, but he didn't have it completely walled off with roaches. And the front entrance was just a little bit too big. The Zerglings got in there, and after that point, the dam had been breached, the Zergling flood had commenced, and it was just it for TLO. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to check out more of my stuff over at youtube.com/EonShiKeno. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.